Welcome to Librarian Recommends. Hi, my name is Trish and I'm one of the librarians at Barbican Library, and I'm going to bring you some suggestions of books to read or listen to via a Librarian Recommends session fortnightly on a Thursday. If the library is open, you can come in to borrow books, but you can always download ebooks and audiobooks using our free RBdigital app. If you need help using the app, please take a look at our user guide video, which you can find in the video section on the left of this Facebook page, or go to our YouTube channel using the link above. Today I'm going to concentrate on books about famous lives. There are lots of books available about celebrities, those in the news and more, of which these are just a few suggestions to get you started. Firstly, I'm going to mention some ebook titles you might be interested in trying. My first suggestion is Free at Last by Tony Benn. Tony Benn was a British politician, writer and diarist who has had 9 diary volumes published. He was born in London in 1925 and had 2 brothers, Michael and David, who sadly died in the Second World War. He served as a cabinet minister in the 1960s and 70s and continued in government before retiring from Parliament in 2001 after over 50 years. This volume of the diary comments on the momentous events he lived through in a decade of service, wars, a change of government and the emergence of New Labour, all of which are told with refreshing honesty and insight. He also writes about his personal life with his wife Caroline and their 4 children, Stephen, Hilary, Melissa and Joshua, and their 10 grandchildren. When he died in 2014, there were tributes from all political parties as he was such a unique and respected figure. Next up is Story of My Life by Helen Keller. Helen Keller was an American author, political activist and lecturer. She was born in 1880 and was the first deaf-blind person to earn a Bachelor of Arts. At 19 months old, Keller contracted an illness, probably scarlet fever or meningitis, and as a result she became deaf and blind. She was saved from isolation by Anne Sullivan, who set about teaching her to communicate by spelling into her hand. The relationship lasted for 50 years as Anne became her governess and companion. Helen became an advocate for people with disabilities and worked tirelessly for other causes. Her life was so remarkable it was made into a film called The Miracle Worker, and her motto was, "There are no handicaps, only challenges." She died in 1968. How about A Fart in a Colander by Roy Hudd? Roy Hudd was an English comedian, actor, radio host and authority on the history of music hall. He was born in Croydon in 1936 and had quite a turbulent childhood after his parents died when he was young. He was brought up by his grandmother, and the title of this book was one of her unique sayings. Hudd's career started in the 1950s, and he worked with major stars for 40 years. He appeared on television, but his main love was radio and theatre. He wrote and starred in the BBC radio comedy sketch show Huddlines for 26 years. His theatre performances included 30 pantomimes and starring roles in Variety and the West End. The book has some wonderful stories from his life, and the fun he brought to millions is captured here. Roy Hudd sadly died earlier this year. The final ebook suggestion is What's It All About by Cilla Black. Priscilla White was better known as Cilla Black. She was a singer, television presenter, actress and author. She was born in Liverpool in 1943. Her father was a docker and her mother ran a market stall, and there Cilla had great ambitions. She started her career in 1963, at the time when British artists and pop music were known all around the world, and she had 11 top 10 hits between then and 1971. In later life she became a prominent presenter on TV, with popular shows like Surprise Surprise and Blind Date. With her flaming red hair and Liverpool accent, she became well known to another generation of fans, along with her catchphrase, "Laura, Laura laughs." She sadly lost her husband Bobby to lung cancer in 1999, and this book tells the story of her show business life, family happiness and tragedy. She sadly died in 2015, still working in the business she loves so much. And now, on to some audiobooks. They are becoming more popular than ever, especially as you can listen and do something else at the same time. And there really is something relaxing and soothing about being read to, regardless of the genre. How about There's Something I've Been Dying to Tell You by Linda Bellingham. Linda Bellingham was known as an English actress, but she was actually born in Montreal, Canada in 1948. Her mother gave her up as a baby because she came from a very religious family and she was not married. Linda was adopted at 4 months old and brought up in Aylesbury, Wiltshire. Her acting career started in the 1970s when she attended the Central School of Speech and Drama. Linda had many television roles over the years. Doctor Who and All Creatures Great and Small are two of the most well-known series she performed in. She was also well known for an advertising campaign for OXO, where she played the mother in a family for many years. More recently, she was one of the loose women in the daytime discussion show. When she got the devastating news that she had cancer and had only months to live, she decided to write a book about her life. Linda died in 2014. My next suggestion is Sir Michael Caine by William Hall. Michael Caine is one of our most well-known and loved actors. He was born Maurice Joseph Micklewhite on March the 14th, 1933 in South London. He came from a working-class background. His father was a market porter and mother a cook and cleaner. Caine began his acting career when he responded to an advert in The Stage for a stage manager who could do walk-on parts. Since then, he has made 130 films and has a career spanning 60 years. He has starred in some of the classics of modern cinema, The Italian Job and Get Carter, to name a few. He's well known for his Cockney accent, which has stood him in good stead in some of his roles like Alfie. He has won 2 Oscars and was knighted in 2000. Although 87, he still continues to act and is still seen in modern films. He had a role in the latest Christopher Nolan film, Tenet. Next up is Jenny Churchill by Anne Sieber. Jenny Jerome was born in Brooklyn, New York in 1854. She was a great beauty and well known in social circles. After a 3-day whirlwind romance, she married into the British aristocracy and became Lady Randolph Churchill. She was a cornerstone of high society, and at a time when women were allowed few freedoms, she was a power in politics from behind the scenes. She was an accomplished pianist and playwright, and was said to be intelligent with a great sense of humour. Lord Randolph died prematurely at the age of 45, leaving Jenny to bring up her 2 sons, Winston and John. Both boys made their mark on the world, particularly Winston, who became our greatest wartime leader. My final audiobook suggestion is Abiento by Roger Moore. Roger Moore was an actor who was known for his suave, polished charisma. He was born in Stockwell, London in 1927. He started out at RADA, where he spent 3 terms perfecting the relaxed approach, which was his trademark. He had many film and television roles. One of his most popular was Simon Templar in the programme The Saint. The most famous role was undoubtedly as James Bond. He was in 7 films from 1973 to 1985, beginning with Live and Let Die. In later life, Moore was a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. He was knighted in 2003 for services to charity, and he died aged 89 in 2017. I do hope you enjoy these ideas for your next read. Perhaps it's not a genre you thought of reading before. Why not dip in and see what you think? And don't forget, if these titles I have suggested are unavailable when you look, you can search by genre and availability or browse in the RBdigital app. Do use the comments section below to add your own suggestions of books about famous lives you think our customers might enjoy. And if we don't already have them in our RBdigital collection, we will see if we can add them. Before I go, I would like to thank my colleague Sue for her invaluable help putting these recommendations together. Stay safe and well, and see you soon. Bye!